Hey guys, Big Andrew here with your thought from the bench right now. Mm. Excuse me, my mouth's a little dry. But I've been talking about the three things that a goal should give you, especially a competitive goal of some kind. Three things: discipline, patience, and humility. Discipline, patience, and humility. We talked about discipline last time, and we're going to talk about patience today. What is patience? Patience is waiting. Patience is not getting in a hurry. Patience is attention to detail. We watch a lot of classic television in my house. It's safe. I don't have to worry about the kids seeing something ridiculous or stupid on the TV, and it's not gonna be some retarded cartoon with some crazy nonsensical something or other spouting off random baloney. I mean, yeah, they watch Looney Tunes and stuff like that, but there is nothing remotely political about any of that. It's a coyote. It's a mute coyote, like most dogs. They can't really talk, and some big long-legged blue bird that makes some weird beep beep noise, and then they run, and it's ridiculous. It's nonsense, but it's not something retarded like some of the cartoons on today. I'm not going to get off on that tangent because there might be some adults who will watch this or listen to this podcast who will get offended by that because they're adults in age only and they never actually grew up, and they need to actually friggin' grow up and grow a pair and be an adult and do adult things and quit going to Disney every year for their stupid vacations as a single adult because they're Disney adults, which is really just a sad way of saying obese and lonely. Now, moving away from that, patience is something very important. And we in my house we watch these older TV shows. These older TV shows move at a different pace, right? One of the things we watched a lot, especially when my kids were very, very little. My youngest is 4. When he was very little and we needed to have him calm down or whatever to put him to bed, a lot of times we would watch documentaries on hummingbirds or something like that. He could see the bird. It was slow moving and quiet. You could see it. It would be flying around. He thought it was the most amazing thing. But something we watched a lot was The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross. Everybody knows who Bob Ross is. He's a classic piece of Americana and American television. And he gives people opportunity to learn a skill to paint sceneries. And the guy could paint sceneries that would just blow your mind. They were just amazing. And we would watch the reruns of Bob Ross's painting, The Joy of Painting. And my kids would just sit there and just relax. Like they would just calm down. Nothing wrong with Bob Ross. I think Bob Ross is great. The problem I have with the idea of Bob Ross is he teaches you that you could paint a beautiful painting in 28 minutes. He can do it. He's Bob Ross. He can paint a beautiful painting in 28 minutes. You're probably not going to get that same painting in 28 minutes. Let's just be honest. You're going to take a lot longer than 28 minutes the first time you try. You can go and you can buy all the paints. You can buy the right easels and canvases and whatever the thing is that you hold the paint on. You put your thumb through it like that, and you got all the little paints on the boards. You can scrape them, paint them, mix them, whatever that thing's called. You can have your paint thinners. You can have the right lighting. You can have everything you need, but you're not going to be able to do it at his speed. It took him years to develop that and to develop his style of painting. You can watch all these cooking shows, right? And they throw this meal together in a half hour. And you're going to say, oh, I could do it in a half hour. And you're going to throw it together in a half hour. And you're going to have it half done because you're not as good as they are with a knife or with your ingredients or with your stove or whatever. These guys are professionals. It's taken them a while to develop their ability to do these things in 25 minutes. I mean, maybe you're a freak and you can do it. And you go in there and you go, oh yeah, I got that. I can do it right now. Bam. 28 minutes, I painted a beautiful piece of scenery. Bam. 25 minutes, I got an entire 3-course dinner out here for my family of 12. Whatever. Maybe you're one of those people, okay? And if you're one of those people, the rest of this podcast is not for you, and you get on my nerves. But for everybody else, the rest of us, we got to learn some patience. We have to learn patience. Patience will slow you down. It won't slow your progress down, but it will slow you down. Patience is a skill. People say patience is a virtue, and you could say it is a virtue. It really is a virtuous thing to have patience, but it is also a skill. The ability to wait, the ability to digest the information being given to you and come up with a plan of action. The ability to learn and to develop to the point where you get something the way it should be. That takes patience. It takes a lot of patience for some things. It takes less patience for other things. And it's going to vary from person to person. I wish I could stand here and tell you that if you did something for 10,000 hours, you could be an expert, and I can guarantee that. But the fact of the matter is, everybody says it takes 10,000 hours to be an expert. It can also take 10,000 hours to be an expert at doing something completely wrong. I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing. Oh, it takes 10,000 hours. No, it doesn't. It doesn't take 10,000 hours to be an expert. It takes forever to be an expert on something. For some people, they can seem to have developed the expert level on something very quickly. I mean, you can look at the sport, which is my milieu, if you will. It's my vein of thought. Some people are very, very good and they pick things up very quickly. Some people, they love something and it takes them forever to develop a level where they can be good at something or competitive at something. Look at, we're right now in the middle of college football season, and you find these people who are great college football players. You know, some of them didn't start playing football until their senior year of high school. They turn around, bam, they're starting in a D1 full scholarship. They're a most amazing student. They're a most amazing football player, and they're just running off with everything. In 4 or 5 years, they're going to be in the NFL. They're going to be flying jets and going all over the world, and it's just going to be amazing for them. Then you have that guy who's been playing football since he was a tricycle riding runt. His dad coached football. This boy eats, breathes, sleeps, everything football. Sleeps with a football. He knows every position. He knows every play. He can read a book of plays and memorize it like that. Like, he's just so good. He knows what he's doing. But there's certain pieces to his game or certain pieces to his abilities that are lacking in one way or another, either because of genetics or because lack of focus on them or something. Something is lacking in his game, and that guy, maybe he doesn't get to go and play football at a school. He played in high school. He played in middle school and elementary, pee-wee. He played backyard football. He did every sport possible. He tried everything. But he's not going to get to play D1 football. And he may never, ever get to see the inside of a gridiron from the gridiron. You know, he might have to stay in the stands his whole life. That guy worked really, really hard to get to the level he achieved, but he didn't make it where he wanted. Sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes it takes patience. Sometimes you can be as patient as you want, but you're not going to make it, and you need to find a way to reverse course. True patience is not patience in developing into a particular thing. It's patience in developing into a particular person that you're supposed to be. If you find yourself in a competition or a competitive outlet of some kind, whatever it is, and like I said, I recommend some kind of sport, solo sport, team sport, something. I recommend some kind of sport. Even if it's running, which I don't know why we have a sport named after the same thing we do if a bear is chasing us. But running, right? Maybe that's your sport. You want to run a half marathon or a half K. I almost said that. You want to run a half K. Hey, I would run a half K. Maybe you want to run a half marathon or a full marathon. Maybe you're one of those people. I have a friend who just completed his first ultra marathon. We call those people insane, but maybe that's your thing. You want to run, and that's your competitive thing. And running is not competitive against the other person. It's competitive against yourself, right? I mean, you can beat other people in races, but your best time is a 4-hour marathon, and you want to do it in 3:45. Ooh, yeah, that's a great thing. That's competitive. It's competitive inside you, and it's a competitive outlet for you. Use that competitiveness and be patient with the process, because what that's going to do is it's going to turn you into the kind of person that you were always meant to be. Find some goal, something that drives you, something that inspires you. It's going to turn you into that person you're always meant to be. I think we mess up sometimes when we tell kids to focus on whatever the activity is so that they can be the best at that activity, when we neglect telling them to be the best person that they can be, the best self they can be. God created man to have fellowship with him, and then he created individuals for a particular kind of fellowship and a particular kind of person and man in each one of them. Man on the whole was built and created, designed to have fellowship with God and to tend to the earth that he gave us. But man as the individual was designed to be a singular, one and only, unique vessel for that fellowship. If we rush because we think we're supposed to be good at a certain thing or activity, if we miss the chance to be patient and learn something, then we're going to mess that up. We're going to bypass the person that God wants us to be a generic version of what we thought we were supposed to be. So be patient. Find a goal that teaches you patience. Find a goal that teaches you how to breathe and take in information and synthesize it and become better, not just at the goal, but at being who it is that God made you to be. Every one of us is created for a purpose. Every one of us exists on purpose. I believe there are no accidental people. You were created to serve God the way he made you to serve him. So glorify him through that. All right. See you next time.